Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what does it actually mean to design a business around ease? That's a very heavy question, and a lot of people don't understand. People are usually on one of two modes. Either they're extremely go getter, type A personality, or they're really on a hunt to make sure that they're doing things at the easiest level they can for their business. Neither is right, neither is wrong. Sometimes in between is the right answer. But have you really stopped to think about what that looks like for your business? It's not laziness, it's not passivity if we're talking about ease. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. It's not even about manifesting your way to millions. I said ease, not fantasy. And not saying manifesting doesn't work because I have manifested a lot of things, but manifestation is not a business strategy. So, what is ease? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for me? What does it look like for everybody? The answer is different for different people. So, today I want to address this lie that we're sold, that you have to grind, that business is about the struggle, that you have to push yourself to the brink and be a superwoman 24/7. We're going to dispel all that today. But first, ask yourself two questions. What does an easy business look like? And how do I make it so that I'm still profitable and easy? Welcome back to another episode of Mogul Chicks Chat. I'm your host, Adrienne Graham. I'm the CEO and proud founder of Mogul Chicks LLC, and that's Chicks with an X. I am a serial entrepreneur and a self made businesswoman who is a strategic business growth advisor, published author, mentor, and investor. We help female founders grow, scale, and get their companies investment ready. Mogul Chicks is a mindset, a way of life, if you will, and a blueprint for female founders who want to build a legacy of wealth and a generational business empire. We provide strategic business growth solutions and a platform for resources, mentoring, networks, and education. Our mission is to take your company from flat to profit generating to job creating to investment ready. My personal mission is to help you build and run a better company,
Okay, let's
reimagine the
get
way
into
you do
it.
business, and build lasting wealth. Oh, and before I forget, be sure to tag at Mogul Chicks using the hashtag Mogul Chicks Chat on social media. Make sure you rate the show and leave a comment. It helps people find us. Share the love, share the love. Let's get into it. So, today's conversation is the beginning of one of the most important conversations I think any founder can have, and that is what it actually means to design a business around ease. I already told you what it's not. Let's talk about what it is. Ease is structure, ease is discipline, ease is intention, and ease is leadership. Ease is the strategy that separates women who are constantly overwhelmed from women who scale with clarity, confidence, and capacity, the three C's. This episode will help you to redefine the way you build, lead, and live your life outside of business, too, hopefully. So, the lie we were sold about entrepreneurship, I have to address it. We were told that you have to grind, struggle, push yourself to the brink, be a superwoman 24/7. You have to prove yourself. I'm using air quotes. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that, and it's all garbage. I come from an era of business where, yes, all of that was true and it was applicable, but we've changed. This is a different time. This is a different era. We don't work like that anymore. Women have been conditioned to believe that ease is indulgent, lazy, and undeserved or weak. And that's not true. You hear people talking about that soft life. Now, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm not going hard, grinding hard, but I'm not living in the soft life. But there's a happy balance. There's a happy medium, and we have to learn to find that. And the truth of the matter is, ease is the natural byproduct of intelligence, structure, and strategy. It happens when your systems do all the work. It happens when your team
carries the weight, which is why I stay on y'all all the time to build a team, a functioning, profitable, money generating team. It's when your product delivers predictably, when your business model is aligned, your operations are efficient, your boundaries are respected. That's a big one, ladies. And your pricing is correct. It's earned through design, and all of those influences have an impact on the ease of your business or not, depending on how you do it. But I know many of you are exhausted because you built a business that runs off of your effort and not off of your structure. And I think that is what we're going to work on fixing today. That is the biggest disconnect. Everyone wants to take ownership of their business, and it's an ego thing. And I know it because I used to be that way too. It's all about my talent, my skill, my knowledge, my resources, my know how. But you know what? I am living proof that that kind of stuff that burns you out really quick. I don't want to be the star of the show. And I know you guys have heard me say that before about people wanting to be the star of the show. And it's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either. Once you take ego out of the equation, let me tell you, it does wonders for you. Really. I'm living proof. I'm telling you. I'm walking testimony of that. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the real cost of a misaligned design of your business. So that's really talking about the cost of building the business the hard way. Listening to other people and telling you that you have to be like Gary V on 20,000% every single day. We don't have to be like that. If you're listening right now and you're feeling burnt out, overwhelmed, or frustrated with your business, I want you to consider that maybe the issue isn't what you're offering, or your clients, or your team, or your economy, or the economy, excuse me. Maybe the issue is the design of your business, because misaligned design has a cost and is very expensive. It looks like inconsistent revenue, chaotic operations, constant emergencies. I know I used to have those. Decision fatigue, client dissatisfaction, team confusion, and found a burnout. I've been there. I've been it to the point where I had to go and be hospitalized. But you know what else misaligns your design? Listen, a company that requires your pain to survive means that it's misaligned. That's the company that women run. If they stop pushing, the business stops working. That's not a business, that's a hostage situation. You've heard me say a lot of time, or read me, read what I've said on social media about, if you stop working today, will your business continue? Will it sustain? When you're going hard like that and you're in that quote unquote hostage situation, no, your business is not going to be sustainable. It's going to be a hot mess. Let's just be real. And the worst part is this: you think you built it, but really you inherited some patterns from the world, your upbringing, your career, and other entrepreneurs that you admire. I always tell people that no two businesses are alike. That is why I am not really cool. I don't feel coaching as much. And that's not a dig on coaches. Please don't blow up my inbox. But everybody is not the same. Everybody has different patterns. Everyone has different struggles. Everyone has different businesses. You were taught that struggle was a rite of passage. Hustle mentality, hustlepreneur, hustle mindset. We don't want that. I'm here to tell you that there is no nobility in the struggle. I am not about that struggle, guys. Sacrifice isn't the flex you think it is, and overwork is not a growth strategy, and it's not a badge that you wear. I have been burnt out, and I've had the overwhelm and overwork, and it's a bill that you shouldn't have to keep paying. Ease isn't the enemy, it's the misalignment is the ease. So, what ease actually is for a CEO? Let's talk about that. Let's redefine ease, okay? Because when people hear that word, they immediately think laying on the beach, sipping on a Mai Tai, doing nothing, just shopping, traveling. No, that's not it. That's not ease. That's a vacation. And hopefully, some of you are taking vacations. But it's rest. And those things have nothing to do with how a company operates. Ease inside a business looks like this: predictable income, repeatable delivery, a team that solves problems without you, clean, simple processes, clear decision making, consistent standards, owner independence, operating from your strengths, aligned clients that you actually enjoy working with, and a schedule that reflects your priorities. Now, I used to tell people back in the day when my son was in school, he was in football for all 4 years of high school. My Fridays were football days. I did not work. And if I did work, I stopped at 12 o'clock noon because I wanted to have that priority. I wanted to make him a priority to let him know that no matter what, no matter where I'm at, I will be home for Friday for the football games. When you design a life like that and you spend that time building a company that works even when you're not on, that's when you have something. That's when you have the crown jewel. Ease is when your day isn't dictated by everyone else's emergencies. And ease is when you spend your energy on the highest value decisions. It's design and it's leadership. Okay. So there's four foundations of a business built on ease. So let's get into that structure really quickly. It's not a vibe, it's an architecture. And there are four foundational pillars of an ease based business. And let me break those down to you. And I don't want you to think I'm on some old hippy dippy esoteric stuff. This is like some real stuff that I've learned over the years. So, pillar one, operational simplicity. If your processes are too complicated for your team to follow, it doesn't stand a chance. Operational simplicity comes from standardized workflows, repeatable steps, eliminated eliminating unnecessary tools, automating where it makes sense, and documenting everything. I always tell people when you hire, if someone can't step into that role and assume those duties right away, it's too complicated. You need to figure out a way to simplify so that you can make sure that anybody can step up to the plate when you're not available. Simplicity scales and it reduces fires. Pillar two, capacity alignment. This is where most founders fail. You try to deliver a premium experience with discount level capacity, or you give your all without protecting your bandwidth. How many times have you said, oh, okay, well, I'm going to charge you $1,000, but you can call me anytime, or you can email me whenever, or you can pick up the phone and call me? We got to stop doing that, y'all. We have to. When you give your all like that, nobody respects your boundaries. Nobody gives you that room to breathe, and they expect you to be on demand at all times. Your capacity alignment means you're staffed appropriately, meaning that people can take over when you're not available. You're priced appropriately, meaning, well, self explanatory. If you're priced appropriately, then you got the right people paying the right price for the right services. You're not overbooking yourself. I've had situations, and not that long ago, actually, where I overbooked, I double booked. Well, I didn't, my calendars weren't synced. Somehow that broke, and I was double booked. um your team has to have the skills to execute when you're not available. That's what capacity alignment is. And you know what, I'll take it a step further. Ease is not just leadership strategy, it's self-worth strategy. Women who feel worthy build systems that protect them and protect their time and their sanity. Women who feel unworthy build systems that drain them, and nobody wants to admit that. So, how do you design a business for ease? Let's get into that. Let's talk about the practical steps because ease has to be engineered. So, here's where you start. Step one, remove everything that's unnecessary. Eliminate offers, tasks, clients, yes, clients, and obligations that drain your capacity. Take them off your plate. Step two, streamline your delivery. You have to ask yourself, what is the simplest, cleanest way to deliver this transformation? And then make your move based on that answer. Step three, reassign or remove low value volume tasks. Everything a CEO should be doing is what you should be doing. Everything a CEO should not be doing, you need to delegate that. And I know a lot of you struggle with that, but we'll get on that topic another time. Step four, build a support ecosystem. Now, this includes an assistant, later, operations person, tech support, automated systems, templates, your money making team. You know, you've heard me talk about that before, the people who bring in revenue to the business. It should not be defaulted to, oh, I need an assistant, and then throw a bunch of stuff on them. You have to be strategic with your hiring. Support is not luxury, it's an infrastructure. If you do it right, I'm telling you, your business will take off and the people will pay for themselves. Step number 5, audit your identity. Yes. So ask yourself, which version of me is still addicted to the chaos? And if you say there's no version, you're lying because we all get a little caught up in that chaos sometimes. Ask yourself, who do I need to become to lead with ease? Those are the questions that will change everything for you. Once you get those into perspective, then you'll be able to master having a business where you can flow with it. It'll be easier to run and you're not overwhelmed. That's the goal. That's the end goal here. So, ease, remember, it's not fantasy, it's not a dream, it's not something other founders get to have and you don't. It's the natural outcome of structure, alignment, intentional leadership, and having the right team and processes in place. Remember, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So if you feel tired, if you feel stretched thin, if your business has become a burden instead of a blessing, this is the moment you need to decide how you're going to operate your business. Is it going to be in survival mode or is it going to be with ease? Don't worry about what the outside world is saying. Don't worry about what everybody else is thinking. You're not here to build a business that drains you or appeases anyone else. You're here to build a business that supports you, expands you, and honors the life that you want. Ease is a strategy. Trust me. It's a leadership stance and it's available to you right now if you're ready to design it. You have to be ready to step away from the norm and start focusing on eliminating the chaos from your life. So, what are you willing to do to make your business an easier business to run?
I'm Adrienne Graham, CEO and founder of Mogul Chicks, and this has been another Mogul Chicks chat. I want to help you build a better, more profitable company by providing strategic growth solutions, resources, mentoring, training, and access to capital. Make sure you check out the other episodes, and if you like what you hear, share the love. Pass the link on to your friends. You can find this podcast on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio Podcasts, TuneIn, Anchor, and of course on the Mogul Chicks website. Make sure you subscribe. And if you subscribe and leave a comment on any or all of these channels, it helps other people find the podcast too. Sharing is caring. For more information about how we work with you to grow and scale your company, visit us online at mogulchicks.com. Send an email to contact@mogulchicks.com. Or you can connect with us all over social media at LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, and everywhere else at Mogul Chicks. And that's Mogul Chicks with an X. And if you're not yet part of the Mogul Circle, if you're doing over $1 million in revenue annually, what are you waiting for? There's so much value in membership and the communities. Or if you prefer a good program or trying to move beyond startup phase, check out the Mogul Chicks Academy. I'll catch you on the next episode. Stay safe. Mogul Chicks are always a step ahead of the crowd and they're always closing deals. Remember, Mogul Chicks make mogul moves and power plays. Your move. Now go be profitable. Bye.